Well, hello to you all. Good morning to you. I'm Clarissa Myers. I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I come to share just a nugget or two of things that I'm learning as I'm on my journey towards becoming the best me possible. And on this journey, my goal is to inspire others to discover the greatness that's inside of them, to discover that there's so much more that we can do with our lives and not just settle. So I have been this week, today is day 3 for me on my journey towards becoming the best me in terms of health. You know, it's more than just exercising, and you keep hearing the cliche, eat the right foods, but it's like, okay, what are those foods? Now, before I go any further, I'm going to say I'm not a physician, I'm not a medical doctor, but there are things that we can do. And if you find yourself suffering with that sweet tooth, you say to yourself, oh, I need something sweet, more than likely you might have that, you may have an addiction to sugar. Now, so I'm continuing what I started on Monday. Let me say, good morning, Dawn. Good morning to you. Glad that you can join me this morning. I can wave to you. Good morning, Clifford. And there we go. I can wave. So thank you for joining me. Good morning, Sips. Good morning. I didn't see you there. Thank you for joining me this morning. So, because my husband suffers with diabetes, and I know that I have there's a chance that I can develop it, because when I was pregnant with my first child, I developed gestational diabetes. So I know to be on the lookout for sweets and to try to control my intake of it. But if you're not cognizant or aware of what's happening to you, to your body, before you know it, you can develop it. It can be full-blown and you don't even know it. There are symptoms for that, but I'm not going to talk about that. So my title is Prevention versus Intervention. Now, if we know certain information about possibly being addicted to it, even if it's not diagnosed, there are things that we can do. Don't wait until it gets to the point where you have to be placed on medication. That's intervention, but that intervention supposedly addressing one thing, it's not really addressing the cure, it's just addressing a symptom. And those medications oftentimes cause other problems. And before you know it, once strong and healthy, you start taking medication after a period of time, then it develops into something else, and you have to take another medication to counteract this. And before you know it, you have 10, 15 medications in front of you that you have to take this time. And who wants to live like that? I mean, if let me put it this way, that's not the ideal way to live. And if we are on this journey to become the best person, the best version of ourselves, good health is part of that. So I've been looking at this because I'm trying to find ways. And yes, there are classes you can take. There are nutrition experts, and there are people out there to help you. But if you don't even realize that you have a problem, or even know that you're addicted, that's the first thing. That's the first step. Discovering or finding out if you are affected by all that sweet stuff. So this week, Monday, I came Monday and I said, you know what? I'm going to be practicing what I'm preaching. So I had tea. I told you I love tea. And I said, I'm going to drink this tea without any sugar. Or even, there's like additives. You can put stevia and some of those other things in there. So I tried it plain. It's an acquired taste. I say that because our taste buds have been so corrupted with putting the stuff that we really don't need in terms of sugar, the sweet stuff. We have to retrain it. We have to reboot our whole system. So let me get started. So how do we go about breaking the sugar addiction? Well, I looked on YouTube, and there are so many different 5 ways to break free, 7 ways to do this. But what I've noticed, they all have something in common. So first of all, you need to understand what's going on with your body. When you eat, when you have too much sugar in your body, it triggers that the dopamine. It releases the dopamine in your body, which is what causes addiction. And it's the same thing in people who are addicted to drugs. And they've done different studies and found that people who are addicted to sugar, their brain chemistry is just like those who are addicted to drugs. And then you have to realize too that not everybody is like full-blown addiction. There are varying degrees, the varying levels of addiction. Some people might be really mild, just like someone who may smoke a cigarette, they're not going to be addicted on the first puff. Others, it may. So we all are different, and we have a different body makeup. Our chemistry is different, and one thing may affect one person differently than somebody else. But the bottom line is realize that, hey, if you can go through this whole, let's try even for this day, if you can go through one whole day without anything sweet, and it doesn't even come to mind, then you're probably good to go. But again, I'm not a doctor, right? So see your doctor about that. All right, so know that there are different levels, and one person being addicted to sugar, it may not necessarily mean somebody else. So there are different degrees. And then to reboot your system, everybody at one point or another needs to reboot or rewire or detox. And there are lots of products out there. I'm not promoting one product over another, but the best thing is using natural foods. That's the best source. And to detox your body or your system, it may take anywhere from 3 to 21 days. So first of all, you got to go in your cupboards and try to maybe get rid of all your sweets. Now, if you're in a household where you have children, and that takes a little bit more discipline. Because at one point or another they want a little snack, but try to do the healthy snacks. And as I was looking and trying to see how I'm going to plan this out, because you have to plan it out. You got to plan out your meals, because if you don't do that and you don't shop for the right foods, and you have all kind of junk in your closet, in your cabinets, and in your refrigerator, then when you have that weak moment, that sugary stuff, that sweet stuff is going to be very enticing to you. You may or may not have the willpower to just say, okay, I'm passing that up. You may or may not. So the best thing to do, rather than enticing yourself or putting dangerous, what do you call that? Addiction things that it's going to sabotage you. Just get rid of it. All right. So I was looking at foods, actual foods now. They say that the processed foods that's made from, flour, pasta, and all that stuff, the best thing to do is go with the foods that's one ingredient. So like the kale, I wrote some of them down here. Foods that help you to detox: kale, spinach, wheatgrass, broccoli sprouts. Now I haven't seen that. I have to go maybe to an international store to find that. Broccoli sprouts, blue-green algae, spirulina. Now it's a leafy vegetable. I have to go looking for that. Arugula, cabbage, of course, chards, Brussels sprouts, alfalfa sprouts. These leafy vegetables, those are high in what you need to flush out, not just the whole body, your bloodstream, flush everything, including your kidneys, your liver, and it may take anywhere from 3 to 21 days. Of course, garlic, limes, turmeric, lemons. You can squeeze some lemons in your water or limes in your water, so to just vary it some. Nothing's like fresh, clean water, but you can add some of those things in it to help flush your system. And then, of course, you need the fats. Like you can get that from flaxseed oil, olive oil, coconut oil, hemp oil, avocado oil. Mix that up maybe in your salads or whatever. And then there are those other herbs that's not around where I live. These Grecian herbs. like the kohlrabi, green herb, marjoram, bergamot are oranges. I haven't seen those yet, but I gotta look for them. Jujubes and Grecian laurel leaves. So all of this stuff, these, I mean, they say what you need, but how do you prepare it? So now that's going to be my next thing to figure it out. But you know what? I know it's going to be good. However it turns out, as long as you put a little salt, maybe some seasoning in there, I mean, I think it'll be okay. You know, you could even probably cook it up in a soup, a leafy soup like. Anyway, so those are the foods that we should eat. We should eat. The gentleman I was listening to, he said, when you go grocery shopping, shop around the perimeter of the store. That's usually how it's set up. You know, you have your produce, and don't forget the fruits, because the fiber, you know, having protein, having fiber, and having it's protein, fiber, and with something, the fats, having that's what your body really needs. And so those protein bars, you said, say, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'm going to just grab a protein bar, and that's going to be my lunch. You know, that's loaded with sugar. We also need to be, well, I'm going to save some for tomorrow because it's just so much. It's just so much. And I'm determined to do this, and I'm trying to help not just my husband, but my family. I want my family to eat healthy. You know, when you get older, you know, you're making your own money, and you know, you can buy what you want, you know, eat out. But we have to, if we're serious about living healthy and being healthy, we need to put the right things into our bodies. And if we need to, you know, your car needs a tune-up every now and then, I don't know how many, 6 months. That's my area. That's not my area. But your bodies need a tune-up. So I'm on this detox portion. Today's day 3. And I must tell you, yesterday I had eaten my lunch, and it was good, and I wasn't really hungry. But when you see somebody else eating something that's sweet, and it's like, so I got a little weak. But you know what? Today's another day. I'm gonna see if I can do better. So I only messed up one time, but I'm gonna do better today. And that's the thing. Every day you try to do a little bit better. And if you mess up, don't like, oh, I gotta start all over. It's a process. So that's what I have for you today. I have 3 links in the description. One is to a group, Spiritual Entrepreneur Goal Achievers. I have somebody in the background getting my attention. Did you want to come on? Okay, all right. Okay, sorry. Second link that I have there is for my YouTube channel. You can share any videos that I have recorded from there, because some people are fearful of sharing it out, or some people sharing it and it's not from me, because anything from me, you'll know it's from me. So anyway, and the third link that I have there is for if you are tired of working for someone else and you want to work for yourself, learn how you can, which is what I'm in the process of doing. So there's a link there, just $10 to sign up, and you can get all the information that you need for that. So there's several people came on. Good morning, Grand Rising to you too, Dave. On Friday with 3 more of the tips to detox because I couldn't do everything today. So I thank you for joining me. Share this out. If anything that I've said resonates with you, if you're on this journey, or even if you're not, maybe you know someone else who may need to be on it. You know, a subtle hint. You know, you don't have to be nice. But that's my goal, and I don't want to be on this journey by myself or by ourselves. We'd like to encourage others because we want to live, after all, our best life. And how did you do that? You are in control. You're in the driver's seat. Do what you need to do